world has already ended. A deadly fungus has spread across the planet. Human civilization collapsed. Cities are empty. The streets belong to something else now. They are called Hungries, but inside one military base, there is still hope. Or maybe something far more dangerous. The story begins with a young girl. Her name is Melanie. She wakes up inside a concrete cell, alone, locked. She hears heavy boots approaching. Without panic, without resistance, she calmly sits in a wheelchair placed in the middle of the room. Two armed soldiers enter. They strap her wrists, her ankles, her forehead tight, no mistakes allowed. She's wheeled outside, and that's when we see something strange. There are other children, all restrained, all silent, all escorted at gunpoint. This isn't a prison, it's a military research facility, and these children are not normal. Inside a classroom, the children are locked into their chairs. Armed guards stand around them. Then a teacher walks in. Her name is Helen Justineau. Unlike the soldiers, she smiles. She treats them like students, teaches them poems, stories, history, and somehow they behave. They look calm, intelligent, curious. But here's the disturbing part. They are never unrestrained without precautions. They are fed living worms at night, and they eat them happily. What are these children? Helen especially loves Melanie, because Melanie is different, brighter, kinder, almost human. After class, Helen gently touches Melanie's head, and suddenly, Dr. Caroline Caldwell enters. Cold, clinical, focused. She warns Helen not to get attached. These children are not children. To prove her point, Sergeant Parks removes the protective cream from his arm and places his bare skin near one of the students. Within seconds, the child transforms. Teeth chatter violently. Eyes change. The body lunges forward. Pure hunger. The cream goes back on. The child calms instantly. The message is clear. These kids are infected. Second-generation fungal carriers. Hungries, who can think? After class, Melanie is taken back to her cell. Dr. Caldwell visits her. Melanie looks at her and says something chilling. "If I had a box, I would put you inside it and never let you out." For the first time, Caldwell looks unsettled. That night, Helen secretly enters Melanie's cell. Against regulations, she removes Melanie's restraints. But something happens. Melanie smells her, the human scent. The hunger awakens. She tries to control it. She fights it. She screams at Helen to leave. Helen rushes out and quickly applies the masking cream to her skin. Only then does Melanie calm down. This isn't evil. This is instinct. The next day, Dr. Caldwell takes Melanie to a laboratory. Outside the base, massive metal fences stretch into the distance. Beyond them, hundreds of Hungries press against the wires. The soldiers keep shooting. Humanity is barely holding the line. Inside the lab, Melanie sees something horrifying. A glass jar. Inside it, a preserved child's brain. Number 13. One of her classmates, missing from school, now dissected. Melanie understands. This is what happens to the special ones. Dr. Caldwell is trying to create a vaccine, and to do that, she needs their brains. Helen arrives, furious. She grabs a gas canister and demands Melanie be released. Caldwell tries to reason with her. "I've thought what you're thinking thousands of times," she says. "But this is bigger than one child. I'm trying to save the world." Helen is torn. Hope versus morality. But before the argument can continue, sirens scream. The fences shake. The Hungries are breaking through, and everything is about to change. This is only the beginning, and the world outside is far worse than anyone inside that base is prepared for. The assistant in the lab is already infected. A Hungry. But she doesn't attack Melanie. Why? Because Hungries don't see with their eyes. They hunt by scent, and Melanie smells like one of them. She is second generation. She belongs to both worlds, and that changes everything. Melanie escapes into chaos. Outside the facility, it's war. Hungries swarm the compound. Soldiers fire endlessly. Screams echo everywhere. Humanity is collapsing in real time. Then Melanie sees something she can't ignore. Two Hungries attacking Helen. Without thinking, she moves. She leaps. She bites. Savage. Fast. Precise. She tears into their necks. Then she collapses. Helen catches her in her arms. And here's the terrifying part. The surrounding Hungries don't attack Helen because Melanie is with her. Melanie is protecting her or controlling the situation without even knowing it. They rush into a truck. Inside are Dr. Caldwell and Sergeant Parks. Hungries chase the vehicle, clawing, screaming, running, barely human. But after a short distance, Sergeant Parks looks back and sees Melanie. He immediately points his gun at her. If she bites someone, they turn. Simple rule. Shoot first. But Caldwell stops him. "We need her," she says. "She's the key." Melanie is restrained again, hands tied. mask secured over her face. She is now cargo, valuable cargo. Suddenly, more Hungries attack the truck. One soldier is dragged out brutally. Parks kills the creature, but it's too late. The bitten soldier begins turning inside the truck. No hesitation. Parks shoots him. Clean. Necessary. Brutal world. They try to restart the truck. It won't start. No time, no choice. They abandon it. Now, they must move on foot, and what they see ahead is worse. Through binoculars, Parks spots dozens of Hungries frozen in place, motionless, like statues. They're in dormant mode, sleeping until they smell prey. One wrong move, and it's over. They decide to move slowly, quietly, breathing carefully. Step by step, they pass through the crowd of silent monsters. One noise could mean death, but they make it. They reach an abandoned building. Temporary shelter. Inside, Melanie is tied up again. Caldwell sits across from her, studying her. Melanie asks the question no one wants to answer. What am I? Caldwell finally explains. The fungus wiped out the first generation, but their children were born different. Second generation Hungries. They can think, feel, learn. And Melanie is the most advanced of them all. Caldwell believes she can create a vaccine from Melanie's brain, the last hope for humanity. But at what cost? They need to leave the building, but the street below is filled with dormant Hungries. Melanie speaks calmly. I can go down. I can clear them. Caldwell refuses. If you go, you won't come back. Melanie looks at Helen. I will come back because you're here. That's the difference. Connection, emotion, choice. They release her. Melanie walks downstairs, among the Hungries. She moves like one of them. They don't react. Then she steps toward the open street, and suddenly the Hungries catch a different scent. Dr. Caldwell's scent. They awaken all at once and rush toward the source. The path is clear. Melanie returns, just like she promised. They move forward again. But the city is no longer the same. Buildings are covered in massive fungal vines. Thick, twisted, alive. Dr. Caldwell stares at them in horror. This is the next stage of the fungus. Large pods hang from the vines, bulging, ready. These will release spores into the air, she says quietly. And when they do, the world won't need bites anymore. The infection will become airborne, total extinction, unless someone stops it. But what happens next changes the fate of humanity forever. They find something unexpected. A mobile laboratory, still running, powered entirely by solar energy. A last pocket of science in a dead world. They move inside, hungry, exhausted, surrounded by silence. But silence never lasts. Food is running out. Sergeant Parks sends the last surviving soldier out to search for supplies. Melanie eats a little. Then she hears something. Whispers. Soft. Familiar. She follows the sound into an abandoned house. And what she sees changes everything. Children, dozens of them, just like her. Second generation Hungries. They're not mindless. They're organized. One boy steps forward, holding a baseball bat. He signals the others. Melanie understands instantly. They are hunting, and the soldier outside is the prey. Melanie runs back to the mobile lab. She tells Helen and Sergeant Parks, there are others like me, but it's too late. The children ambush the soldier. They tear him apart. Cold, coordinated, efficient. Helen and Parks arrive just in time to see the aftermath. A trap. And now they are surrounded. The group escapes barely, but the leader of the children blocks their way. Baseball bat in hand. He stares at Melanie. A challenge. She fights him. Not wildly. Strategically, she traps him using a handcuff, pins him, then finishes him with his own bat. The others retreat, for now, but something bigger is coming. They return to the mobile lab, and something feels wrong. Dr. Caldwell is wearing a mask. Gas fills the room, thick, heavy. Within seconds, Helen and Parks collapse. Melanie falls too. When she wakes up, she is strapped down. Caldwell stands over her. Scalpel ready? She needs Melanie's brain. For the vaccine. For humanity. For Helen, Caldwell argues, for the world. But Melanie sees it clearly now. The world isn't for humans anymore. Humans are fading. Her generation is rising. The fungus is evolving. And the next stage is about to begin. The second generation children enter the lab. They kill Caldwell, brutally, without hesitation. Science ends here. Hope for humanity dies with her. Melanie walks outside, looks at the massive fungal vines, the giant seed pods hanging in the air. She understands. If they burst, the spores will spread everywhere. Airborne, no more bites needed. Total transformation. She makes a decision. She sets the vines on fire. Flames climb upward. Smoke fills the sky. The seeds explode. Spores rise into the wind. The world changes forever. Sergeant Parks emerges from the lab, but he's infected now, turning fast. He hands Melanie his gun. "I want to die as a man." She hesitates, then pulls the trigger. A final mercy. Morning comes. A new dawn. Melanie gathers the second-generation children. They follow her, calm, curious, powerful. Inside the sealed lab, Helen survives, protected from the spores. Melanie locks the doors airtight, not as a prison, as a classroom. Helen begins teaching again, reading, writing, thinking, because the future belongs to them now, not to humans, but to the children of the fungus. A new species, a new beginning. This is how the old world ends, and how the next one begins.
That's it for today's movie recap. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more quick and powerful movie breakdowns. Comment the next movie you want explained. See you in the next recap.